Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into what author Cal Newport calls the superpower of the 21st century. Seriously, in a world of AI, endless notifications, and, instant gratification for everything, the ability to actually focus, it's becoming incredibly rare. And because of that, it's becoming more valuable than ever. So how do you get this superpower? Let's dive in. So our story starts with this guy, Jason Ben. He comes fresh out of an elite college, lands a job as a financial consultant. Sounds pretty good, right? But his big career dreams, well, they pretty quickly slammed into a brick wall. He realized his day-to-day work was so repetitive, it could almost be automated. This quote from Newport just nails Jason's fear. And it's a fear a lot of us are feeling right now, especially if you're starting out in tech or design or really any creative field. The question is, in an economy run by intelligent machines, how do you offer something that can't just be, well, coded away? Yeah, Jason's anxiety isn't just his problem. It's a sign of this massive economic shift. A couple of MIT economists, Bridgerfolson and McAfee, they call it the Great Restructuring. This is a time where technology isn't just changing a few jobs here and there. It's literally splitting the entire workforce in two. And they get super specific about who the winners are in this new economy. They say there are basically three groups that are going to come out on top. First, you've got the people who can work creatively with smart machines. Think data scientists, high-level engineers. Second, the superstars, the absolute best of the best in their field. And third, the owners, the people with the capital to actually invest in all this new tech. So the million-dollar question becomes, how do you make sure you end up on the winning side of that split? Look, having access to capital might be a long shot for most of us, but joining those other two groups, the skilled workers and the superstars, that is absolutely within your reach. And the answer, it all comes down to one fundamental skill. It's a skill that underpins success in both of those winning groups. This is what Newport calls deep work. And it's the superpower for anyone trying to build a career that's basically immune to automation. Okay, so this right here is Newport's core idea, and it's really just simple economics. Think about it. The supply of genuine, focused attention is plummeting, thanks to, our phones, social media, everything. But at the exact same time, the demand for the amazing things deep work produces is skyrocketing. That massive gap between supply and demand, that's where your opportunity is. And here is exactly why this skill is so valuable. Deep work is the engine for the two abilities you have to succeed today. Number one, the ability to learn hard things and learn them fast, like a new coding language or a complex design framework. And number two, the ability to produce work at an elite level. I'm talking about stuff that's so high quality, it just cuts through all the noise. Which brings us back to Jason Ben. Before he could even dream of learning a hard skill like coding, he had to face a much bigger problem: his own mind. Like so many of us, his brain was just completely wired for distraction.
Does that sound at all familiar? Jason straight up admits that in his old job, he sometimes spent 98% of his day just surfing the web. 98%. His attention was shattered. And this wasn't some failure of willpower. It was his brain being literally conditioned for constant distraction.
And this is the central conflict. On one hand, you have deep work. This is the intense, focused effort that pushes your brain to its limits. It's what creates new value and makes you irreplaceable. On the other hand, you have shallow work. This is all the other stuff, the busy work, the logistical back and forth emails, the meetings you have while half listening. It's the stuff you can do while distracted, which also means it's really easy for someone or something else to do it too. So why is all this context switching so bad for us? Well, it comes down to this idea from a researcher named Sophie Leroy, attention residue. Every single time you quickly check your email or glance at a Slack notification, a little piece of your brain's attention gets left behind, stuck on that last thing. This residue basically gums up your mental gears, making it impossible to think clearly and perform at your best. And if you feel like your whole workday is basically designed to create this attention residue, well, you're not wrong. A McKinsey study found something just staggering. The average knowledge worker spends 60% of their week on emails and surfing the internet. Let that sink in for a second. More than half the work week is spent doing things that prime us for distraction. We're not just distracted, we are living and working inside an ecosystem of shallowness. So how in the world did Jason Ben break out of this cycle? This is where we get practical. He knew that to learn a new hard skill, he first had to completely relearn how to focus. So his method, it was pretty drastic, not gonna lie, but it was incredibly effective. He created an environment of total cognitive isolation. For 2 months, he spent 5 or more hours every single day with just books and note cards. No internet, no phone, no distractions. He was literally retraining his brain to hold a single thought.
And the results? They were absolutely stunning. After this deep work boot camp, he didn't just pass a notoriously difficult coding program, he graduated top of his class. He more than doubled his old salary, landing a 6-figure job at a hot tech startup. And now, he gets 4 hours of pure, uninterrupted deep work done almost every single morning. A complete 180.
Now, you do not have to go lock yourself in a room for 2 months. Newport lays out 4 really practical ways to fit deep work into your life. You've got the monastic approach, basically go off the grid. Then there's bimodal, where you split your time, like Carl Jung did between his busy practice and a private stone tower he built to think. The rhythmic way makes deep work a simple, daily habit. And finally, the journalistic approach, for people who have to fit deep work into any little pocket of time they can find. And for anyone who loves a good system, especially you managers and entrepreneurs out there, you can treat this just like a business goal. Use the 4 disciplines of execution. 1, focus on one wildly important goal. 2, act on your lead measures. Don't just track the outcome, track the hours of deep work you're putting in. 3, keep a compelling scoreboard so you can actually see your progress. And 4, create a cadence of accountability with a weekly review to plan and make sure you're staying on track.
But here's the thing. The real power of deep work goes way beyond just your career or your salary. This is really about crafting a life that has meaning. The argument is that a focused life isn't just more productive, it's just better.
And Newport makes this case from 3 different angles. Neurologically, your perception of the world is literally created by what you pay attention to. So if you focus on deep, meaningful things, your life will feel deep and meaningful. Psychologically, deep work gets you into that amazing state of flow, which is a well-known key to human happiness. And finally, philosophically, when you approach your work with intense focus, like a craftsman, you find meaning in the work itself. Doesn't matter if you're writing code or building a chair. The science writer Winifred Gallagher, after a really tough battle with cancer, came to this powerful realization. She figured out that by managing her attention, she could literally shape the quality of her life. And she chose to live the focused life because, as she puts it, it's the best kind there is. So that brings us right back to you, the ability to work deeply. It's a superpower just waiting for you to claim it. In a world that is constantly pulling you toward the shallow end, choosing to go deep is a radical act. So the only real question left is this: what are you going to build with it?